On the northeast coast of Grenada, coastal communities such as the Telescope Grand Bay area are highly vulnerable to the adverse impacts of climate change, such as sea level rise and storm surges, and the resulting coastal erosion. This is why the community in the area is supported through the Community Co-Management of Mangroves project, RECCOMM, under the Integrated Climate Change Adaptation Strategies Program, ICCAS.
The RECCOMM project is very important to our community, since although the community is bordered with the sea, and we actually face the destruction of the sea firsthand, and not like somebody that lives in the middle of the island and they're hearing about it. So we actually see the destruction.
The shift in the climate debate has moved from is it happening and what are the contributing factors to how we are going to now get ready for it, to promoting resilience action. And at the same time, there's also been a move from short-term independent projects to longer-term, more holistic programming.
The project is implemented by the Forestry Department and the Telescope Environmental Development Committee TEDCO, with support from the German Development Corporation GIZ and the Environment Division of the Ministry of Climate Resilience.
So we decided to hold a series of consultation with the community, awareness initiative, enlightening them, sensitizing them on the importance of the mangrove, and then we communicated to them that if the mangrove is harvested in a wise way, it can be a sustainable resource. It can bring income to them while there is no harm to the environment.
The first step was working with communities to recognize the value of the mangrove ecosystems to their own well-being. Once they understood the need for action, and once this action was defined, a board comprising of government, other NGOs, and community members was formed to support community co-management of ecosystems and the development of alternative sustainable livelihoods.
Well, for me, I find it important because we need to save the environment a lot. And so many trees have lost lately, and by putting others, I think it's a good gesture. Yeah, I love that. I find it's a good gesture of planting trees. It's, for the future generation to come, we protect ourselves, and the environment. Well, I start from over here, so all in the back of you, I plant those, and they're growing very well. Very nice. I love to see that. Yeah.
People get to understand that, when you cut it down, the sea come in more. So they start giving us the help and helping us planting back some of the mangroves.
Okay, we're not just planting some mangroves, but actually we also look into why do people actually use mangroves and, for example, cut mangroves. And that, of course, is mostly a livelihood thing. So one thing is then that you look into, okay, what can be alternative livelihoods? And also we are training the charcoal producers on how to actually use mangroves, but in a sustainable manner.
Nearly 2,000 mangrove seedlings have been planted by trained community members and several volunteers with high success rates. While communities were engaged in mangrove restoration, including revegetation of other coastal plant species, work was also done to introduce new revenue-generating opportunities. 10 interested community members were engaged for extensive training to introduce and sustainably develop apiculture as an alternative livelihood to charcoal production from harvested mangroves. In addition, since the area with the mangrove wetland is an important resting site for birds, community members were trained in bird identification to offer services for tourists interested in bird watching.
The beekeeping has been something that we address in terms of providing local livelihoods for the community stakeholders, and there are a number of persons currently engaged or benefited from beekeeping support, and we're looking at other areas for ecotourism opportunity. We're hoping to build infrastructure in terms of enhancing the opportunity for visitation to the area.
This is where the bees would be storing the honey that these members would be extracting and selling to enhance their livelihood. The owner of the land was quite grateful to let us use it, because if you notice, just beyond the windbreaks there are farmlands. So the bees actually help with pollination. So it's a win-win for everybody involved. And that is something that you really want in the community where you have hives close to where your farmers are planting, because an increase in pollination means an increase in production for the farmers, so they get to sell more.
Building on the co-management approach, the community formalized and registered an organization, TEDCO, in order to continue mangrove restoration and beekeeping, as well as to access and implement projects on their own. This is an important step towards sustainability and the overall building of community resilience.
They will take this as a start point and then identify other areas that they want to move into. Some of them may be social justice issues, and other ones may stick to environmental issues or economic issues. The point is now we have shown them that they can do it and started them on that path.